Happy Homebrew Wednesday, everybody. SJ Poor here at Little Face Brewing. It is Wednesday. I wanted to pop in and do a little bit of a Homebrew Wednesday for you all. What I have sitting in front of me here, and these two, this is actually my round 2 SJ Poor Challenge night round beer, and this is MM's round 2 SJ Poor night round beer. Then I have another one sitting off here to the side that's sitting right there that I want to throw in there as well. And I am going to open that right now with my trusty Brew Tubers. There we go. My trusty Brew Tubers bottle opener. And I'm using my trusty South County Brewing Company's pint glass. What do you say about that? The beer I'm pouring here in the middle is actually the 2016 SJ Poor Challenge, second place overall. This is the Red X Session IPA brewed by none other than Man Bear Pig 1122233445. So we're going to throw that guy right in the middle. So we've got 3 SJ Poor Challenge beers here, and we're just going to play around with some tasting of them. So now that I've got all 3 of these poured, the round 2, I actually made it through to the round 2, and I was ecstatic about that with this beer. I did not move on any further, so I feel it's okay that I can talk a little bit about this beer. As you can see, this one it's still a bit cloudy, but it's a bit clear, and on this particular one, which is out of the tap from behind me, I'm not going to run into that oxidation issue that I had with the beers that went out. And for that, to you folks that made it through to the round 2 in the US that had my beer, I apologize for that. I had a huge issue with I had a counter pressure bottle filler, and for whatever reason I could not get that thing to work properly. So I need to go back to the drawing boards and figure out what I was doing wrong. This is MM's round 2 beer. She did not make it through to the second round, but this is a solid beer. We actually had that down at Patterson Park just this past weekend, and I'll throw a video up of the shenanigans of Patterson Park at another time, but that was a blast. She kicked my butt at the at that competition. We went down as Southern County Amateur Brewers Society, and that is our local club, Scabs. And we came away with 2 second places in the sour category with Dick's Sour Dick, and it's a second place. And we came back with a second place on the Holiday Ale Spiced Ale category, and that was with Jim and Rebecca Herbertson and their gourd ale. That was a phenomenal gourd ale, and his presentation on that was very good. If you do these competitions to where you're pouring your beer at the event, present your beer properly. Name your beer, right? That brings people to it, and present the beer. That actually really, it throws a little bit of that X factor onto the beer. And then, of course, brew a good beer on top of that. That definitely helps when you're doing, a competition like that. And what he did was he actually took some spices and stuff, and he poured the sample glass, and then he poured some of the samples across the top of it and handed it off to folks. Great representation. The beer in the center, as I said, is from the 2016 SG Port Challenge, second place overall from Man Bear Pig. I'm doing these three because those beers and the round two was inspired by this beer. So I'm going to give it a go. And a hair. Now this is a session ale that is set for probably close to a year, but probably not exactly a year. So this was, I think he rebrewed. So while it's going to have some age on it either way, we'll see how it actually stands the test of time. I'm picking up a lot. I'm not getting a whole lot of the coffee malts, but I am getting the sweetness. Cheers. Yeah, well done. That is just, it's a good beer. It really is a good beer. And at 3.1%. Now it's going on its downhill side, so there's some separations of the flavors. But 3.1%, it aged well. Well done, Josh. Well done. The hops have started to go away. However, they're actually still there. So it's still got a little bit of hop pop to it. So I'm going to dive into, now like I said, the whole second round was actually of the SJ Port Challenge. I was really pushing people towards, I mean, I like the Red X. The Red X was the feature grain in that grist. Now this drinks more like, I put it in as a red ale. Excuse me. And it's actually more along the lines of a barley wine. Albeit a very young barley wine. Very good. Very unlike, I know, the bottles that you guys received. And again, I apologize for that. That will not happen again. Even if I have to do something over, I won't go through that. I'll get that figured out. And then this is Mares from the keg upstairs. Actually, our two are going to be very similar. Actually, yeah, they are similar, but they're different. Hers drinks a little bit lighter. It's a strong Scott. Mine is really heavy, very full-bodied, very thick. Actually, when I go to brew that again, which is another part of the SJ Port Challenge, is to play around with your recipes, dial them in. This one, I actually want to just dial it back a little bit. Maybe dial it back and bring the hops up, because this is noble hops. So very good. So these are the children of this. And that is my point for being here today. That's all I have for this Homebrew Wednesday. I have got a lot of footage of stuff to work through. I've got a whole host. I got to finish up doing my reviews for the second round challenge. Plus, I got to edit my reviews for the third annual mead challenge, which I finished my last mead 2 nights ago. I'm done. MM is still going through and doing hers. She's in the challenge as well. I think there's 7 of us total. And it has been outstanding. Go to Canadian Sasquatch's channel and see what we're talking about. If he chooses to do it again next year, which I'm hoping that he does, we're totally in again, because I have personally learned an enormous amount on meads, and there is one person that I want to try and talk into getting in, and to get into that mead challenge, and that is Joshua Easter, and that's who brewed that. So I want him in that challenge as well. This is a phenomenal mead that he's made. Phenomenal. So there we have it. I am going to get out of here so you all can enjoy your Homebrew Wednesday. This is S.J. Poor at Little Face Brewing. Enjoy the fruits of your labor, folks. And brew beer. mm. Yeah, that works. Check that out. This is from Modest Brewing Company. It's a crowler. Josh sent this to me. It's actually autographed and gives me a little note here on the side. And this beer can will be with me for the rest of my life. Thank you, brother, for sending that. So I am stoked. This is cool.